WFYI podcast brought to you by Bloomington, Indiana, an American college town offering food and drink, college sports, outdoor activities, live music, cool art, and good times daily. Everyone is welcome in Bloomington. More information at visitbloomington.com.
I'm Kyle Long, host of Cultural Manifesto, just one of the local music programs you can enjoy on WFYI. These programs would not be possible without your financial support. And to say thank you, we want to send you to see Lyle Lovett when he comes to Indianapolis on July 28th. Choose a concert ticket as your gift when you donate at WFYI.org/give. And thanks for supporting WFYI.
This is WFYI News Now. It's May 22nd, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, Incumbent Todd Rokita will be the Republican nominee for Attorney General this year. The Indiana Hospital Association gets a new leader. And the family and friends of Jeanetta Holder, known in Gasoline Alley as the Quilt Lady, presented her last checkered creation.
Very special tradition. That's what Indy is built off of, is the traditions. So I feel incredibly honored to receive this quilt, and we'll cherish it.
Those stories coming up. But first, a new troop of chimpanzees is ready to roam at the Indianapolis Zoo. WFYI's Jill Sheridan reports on the grand opening for the Penny and Jock Fortune International Chimpanzee Complex.
One of the largest chimpanzee centers in the country, the complex currently houses 21 chimpanzees. The great apes will be able to access 3 different structures with indoor and outdoor spaces connected by a quarter-mile of chimpanzee trail. The animals will have complete freedom to go where they want. The $53 million center allows visitors to get up close to the apes. The center builds off cognitive work done with orangutans at the zoo, where the animals are engaged in problem-solving exercises. The zoo will also have a reproductive program and hopes to grow its chimpanzee community in the coming years. I'm Jill Sheridan.
Incumbent Todd Rokita will be the Republican nominee for Attorney General this year after no one signed up to challenge him at the state GOP convention next month. As Indiana Public Broadcasting's Brandon Smith reports, Republican convention delegates will have a choice to make for the lieutenant governor nominee.
Rokita was first elected as Attorney General 4 years ago and has attracted plenty of controversy in the office. Madison County Prosecutor Rodney Cummings reportedly explored challenging the incumbent at the convention, but ultimately Rokita will be unopposed. The race for lieutenant governor will be contested, which is unusual. Typically, the party's candidate for governor picks their running mate, and the convention delegates confirm that choice. But ultra-conservative pastor Micah Beckwith decided to buck that trend and has been running for lieutenant governor separately. He'll face off against Julie McGuire, the candidate endorsed by gubernatorial nominee Mike Braun to be his running mate. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Brandon Smith at the State House.
The Indiana Hospital Association gets a new leader this week. WFYI's Farah Ussery reports on the former top healthcare executive tapped to fill the position.
The Indiana Hospital Association announced Blake Dye as the new interim president. Dye was a former senior vice president at Indiana University Health and had led Henry Community Health for a decade. Dye was also appointed by Governors Mike Pence and Eric Holcomb to the executive board of the Indiana Department of Health. He fills the position of Brian Tabor, who served as the Indiana Hospital Association's president for 16 years. Tabor recently announced he is stepping down. I'm Farah Ussery.
And for our final story today, a longtime tradition at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is coming to an end. Jeanetta Holder, known in Gasoline Alley as the Quilt Lady, died at age 91 last year. She had presented hand-stitched quilts to Indy 500 winners since 1976. Family and friends of Holder were recently able to present her last checkered creation to 2023 winner Josef Newgarden.
Very special tradition. That's what Indy is built off of, is the traditions. So I feel incredibly honored to receive this quilt, and we'll cherish it.
Johnny Rutherford was the first winner to receive a quilt from Holder, who was born on an Indianapolis 500 race day in 1932. Holder's adopted son, Kelly Bailey, says she was a race car driver herself.
She was one of the very first lady race car drivers back in the early 50s. There was a couple times she put the car on its roof, and survived it with no injuries.
Holder had autographs of all the winners that she would stitch onto the blankets, each of which had a unique design. Newgarden says Holder's last quilt will have a special place in his home. And that's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by the following people who live in your community: Drew Daudelin, Kendall Antron, who composed the music for this podcast, and me, Abriana Herron. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share. And follow WFYI on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.
WFYI podcast brought to you by Bloomington, Indiana, an American college town offering food and drink, college sports, outdoor activities, live music, cool art, and good times daily. Everyone is welcome in Bloomington. More information at visitbloomington.com.